I'm sorry, I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing. I mean, like, legislation is just a worst thing to begin with. I mean, like, all the learners are complaining, like, say, what about the legislation? Some they be like, you know what, now we don't even understand anything about this legislation. Some they be like, we've been listening topics for 2 weeks, but I don't grasp anything. Hey, that's the reason why actually when we approach media examination, trial examination, and final examination, all learners, they run for business operation in paper one. Why? Because of this enemy. Legislation, they are not complicated. Remember on the video of difficulty level, I said, this one, the difficulty level of this one is 7 out of 10. Why? Not because it's complicated now. It just has a lot of information. That's the reason why. I mean, imagine we are having 8 eggs, and a learner in the first term, they got to grasp all the information about these 8 eggs because it's compulsory. You have to understand it. So remember what I do. I don't teach. Okay, I'm trying by all means to clarify things, to make the overview of everything because I don't have enough time. I told you that the time is number one skill. But let me try to break it down for you. At least you will have a clue. Do you understand? Or at least you will have a better way to break it down to your learners in a simple way. We're having 8. Okay? 8 legislation, 8 acts. So out of all these 8 acts, learners got to know their purposes, how to comply with them. Some of them, they have to know even the impacts, positive impacts and negative impacts. Trust me, learners' minds are not the robots. They are not going to grasp everything in here. So this is the best way to do. The best way to do and the simplest way to do is to try by all means to break down every legislation. How? In a simpler way that at least if learners, they have an understanding of the concept of that legislation, they don't have to worry much about the content inside it. At least they will have a clear overview. So this is what I'm trying to do. The number 1, Skills Development Act. Come on, remember this legislation are there actually to guide the businesses. All the businesses, they have to comply with this legislation. So the Skills Development Act, usually I tell my learners that, come on, Skills Development Act, it says for itself, Act is just a law, okay? This law, what does it do? It develops what? The skills. The skills of who? People or what? The skills of the employees that are already working in a business. That's why the Skills Development Act. In here, the business should develop the skills of their own employees. That's right. Let's go first, okay? Basic Conditions of Employment Act, BCEA. The basic condition, meaning that this, we are talking about the basic fundamental of what? The employment. This one simply deals with the fair practice and make sure that the business gives us a fair practices in a workplace. Overview, remember? Broad-based black economic empowerment. We call it a BBEE. This one was actually implemented to do what? To cover these previously disadvantaged people. People who didn't have much time to participate in the economy, to go to school and stuff like that. So the BBEE actually is there to give more black people much power in economic participation. That's why when you are seeing in here, that's why you're going to find that 5 pillars: ownership, management, control, and so forth. What they're trying to do in here, they are trying by all means to put more blacks into participation of our economic activities. You feel it? They're not that bad. We are going for National Credit Act. National Credit, usually be like, let us know what is the credit? They just jump. Loans. So the National Credit Act is there to protect the customers against the reckless, okay, or maybe unfair granting of loans. Do you understand? They can give them the consumer rights. That's why we are having consumer rights for National Credit Act. The rights of the customers when they are getting what? The loans and so forth. This is what actually you have to understand about National Credit Act. It deals with the loans, protecting the customer against reckless loans. Remember, we are going for the Consumer Protection Act. It says for itself, this act is protecting who? The consumer. What are the consumers? The customers, okay? This act is protecting the customer. That's why you can go in the market and put going around picking anything that you want. At the end of the day, you just leave that card there without even paying. Why? Because you are having a right to choose and so forth. You understand? So this Consumer Protection Act is there to protect you. Okay? Now we go for the Labor Relations Act. This one, at least some of the learners will enjoy it because they understand it. Because it's clear, they be like, this one deals, okay, with resolving all the dispute between the employer and the employee. So the Labor Relations Act doesn't only protect the employees now, even the employers. Just that you know that employees are the ones that are always reporting to labor, right? Fair enough. Now we go for the EEA, Employment Equity Act. Okay, Employment Equity Act in a simple way to be like, the word equity means come from the word equality. under workplace, they have to be treated equally. Especially all the employees that are performing the same duty, they have to be paid the same work. So employees with the same value, they have to be paid what? The same amount of salary. So the EEA is actually trying to kill or combat discrimination in the workplace. Easy peasy. Then the last one, QAIDA, Compensation of Injuries and Diseases Act. The word compensate meaning to pay. Who are we paying? The employees who got injured, right? Or get disease when they are on duty. So if maybe, for example, you are working underground in the mining and maybe something happened, like a stone hit you, so and you get injured, or maybe you got disease through the chemical that are being used in the mining industry. So QAIDA is there to protect you or compensate you for those injuries and diseases. Legislation are not that bad. The problem with them that they have a lot of details. So this is me trying to break them down for you. But if you really need a special attention to take you through so that you can have at least a whole understanding, here I'm just giving you an eye of a God. Till our next time, go, muchachos.